Welcome back, everyone. I am so excited for today's explainer because we are cracking open a seriously fascinating source document. We're going to decode the ultimate viral storytelling blueprint behind some of the most insanely engaging children's content out there. Specifically, we're looking at a script template called The Boy Who Couldn't Stop Sneezing. And look, this isn't just some cute little bedtime story. No, this is a meticulously crafted formula designed to capture attention, hold on to it, and scale it into a massive franchise. If you've ever wondered how certain stories just completely explode online, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Right off the bat, the opening line of the script reads, Rohan sneezed once, then twice, then something crazy happened. The source material mandates that this is your 0 to 5 second hook. Think about that for a second. 0 to 5 seconds. In today's digital world, that is literally all the time you have to convince someone to stick around. This exact phrasing is engineered to instantly grab the audience's attention. It sets a super simple baseline, the sneezes, and then immediately promises this high-stakes, totally unpredictable payoff.
Which brings us to Section 1, the sneezing hook.
And moving right along to Section 2, escalating the chaos.
So let's map out Rohan's morning, because it perfectly demonstrates how the creator masterfully scales this chaos. Right when he wakes up, he stretches and says, today feels normal, and then, Choo! His pillow goes flying completely across the room. Okay, a small contained anomaly. Then he's brushing his teeth. Choo! Toothpaste absolutely splashes all over the mirror. The mess is getting bigger. By breakfast, choo! His toast flies up and sticks right to the ceiling. And then the ultimate climax of this escalation happens in public at school. The teacher says good morning and choo! The entire blackboard is automatically wiped clean. You see what's happening? We've gone from a flying pillow in a private bedroom to a massive public display of uncontrollable force. The pacing here is energetic and playful, relying on that rhythmic choo sound to constantly push the momentum forward.
But if you just have high-paced, non-stop action, the audience is going to get exhausted. The source script smartly balances this out. When that toast hits the ceiling, Rohan's mom just looks at it and goes, "Don't worry, beta, free decoration." Injecting this totally deadpan, completely unfazed dialogue is just brilliant. It perfectly breaks up the high-paced action, it gives us a second to laugh, to take a breath, and it resets the tension just enough before the chaos completely ramps up again at school.
And speaking of that school scene, the reactions of the other characters are absolutely crucial here. The script highlights the classmates looking completely shocked, with one kid whispering, "Bro, he's a human tornado." Now, this is a fundamental storytelling technique. Secondary characters are being used to validate the escalating stakes of the story. I mean, think about it. If Rohan sneezed and nobody cared, we wouldn't care either. But when a classmate actually labels him a human tornado, it signals to us that, yes, this is a really big deal and the situation is officially out of control.
All right, next up is Section 3, the super sneeze twist. This is where we see a massive pivot in the narrative.
So back at the house, the sneezing was just causing pure chaos and panic. Rohan literally screams to his mom, "My nose is broken." It's framed as this scary medical problem. But the twist happens at school. He sneezes so hard that he lifts off the ground and realizes, wait, I can fly. The initial panic over a broken nose just completely flips. Now every single sneeze makes him jump higher, move faster, and literally fly around the room, while the entire class is going wild, cheering, "Do it again! Do it again!" The source script uses this stark contrast to masterfully reframe a perceived weakness into an absolute triumph.
And the way this story wraps up this newfound triumph is just great. It gives us this really fun ending where they get an actual doctor's diagnosis. The doctor says, "Good news, it's not a problem. It's super sneeze power." By slapping an official name on it, the creator makes this a validated, real concept within their fictional universe. It's a completely positive diagnosis. Honestly, it leaves the character and us watching feeling totally empowered instead of worried. Section 4, the viral style formula. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that we're pulling back the curtain on the meta-analysis of exactly why this script mechanically works. The source lists some incredibly specific style rules and audio cues that you have to follow. First, the voiceover must be energetic and playful. You can't just casually read it. You really have to perform it. And the audio is critical. The script specifically demands funny sound effects. The boings, the whooshes, the splats, and you pair those with a light,
bouncy cartoon vibe for the background music. Guys, these aren't just suggestions. They are strict, required atmospheric elements for keeping a young audience completely engaged with the narrative flow. And then there's this number, 2 to 3. According to the source, this is a strict, non-negotiable requirement for visual pacing. The creator must use visual zooms and quick cuts every 2 to 3 seconds. Just think about how fast that is for a second. 1, 2, cut. 1, 2, zoom. This hyper-engaging visual pace is practically a scientific requirement in the source material, all to prevent the viewer's eye from ever getting bored and swiping away. And that brings us to section 5, kids with weird powers. This is the ultimate pro tip.
Here, we are looking at the underlying mechanical blueprint for turning a single viral hit into an ongoing, full-fledged series. Step 1. You establish an overarching theme. In our case, it's kids with weird powers. Step 2. You create spin-off concepts using that exact same style formula we just talked about. The pacing, the sounds, the escalation. And step 3, this builds a loop of recurring viewership. The audience knows exactly what to expect in terms of the vibe, but they get a brand new story every time, so they keep coming back for more.
And this brilliantly illustrates how easily the core concept scales. The source document literally hands you these exact spin-offs. The girl who turned everything into chocolate, the day gravity stopped working, my backpack started talking, and the school that floated away. You can see the exact same DNA in all of these titles. They take a totally ordinary, relatable kid concept like a backpack, or gravity, or going to school, and inject a massive escalating twist into it, all ready to be packaged up with zooms every 2 to 3 seconds and a whole lot of whoosh and splat sound effects.
Finally, you never just let an explainer end without a bang. You have to capture all that energy you've just built up. The source script dictates an ending hook designed for absolute maximum engagement. What would you do if your sneeze had superpowers? Tell me in the comments. It's such a provocative, interactive thought because it forces the viewer to apply the story's wild logic to their own life. It drives comments, pushes the algorithm, and perfectly caps off the whole viral formula. So, keeping in the spirit of this incredible blueprint, what is your answer? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.